It's transcomputational in some sense. And it feels, in some weird sense, whimsical, quixotic, yet it works, and it really is the condition of existence of these things in the biosphere. Now here's where so I want to say two more things. I don't think we can state this adjacent possible above the level of atoms. I really don't. It includes all these relational possibilities of the kind that I just spoke about. It's at least something that I don't think you could state, for example, and get into a computer the size of the universe that wouldn't create a black hole because it was so big, or something like that. Of course, I haven't proved that. That's just intuition. I don't even think you can get started on stating it. I have the faintest idea how you get started on stating it, and you don't either. Now, then the question is, so what's special about life, if anything? I mean, does this apply to galaxies? Does it apply to hurricanes? Does it apply to the abiotic universe? And honest to gosh, I don't know. I got the intuitive sense that there's some point at which this quixotic, whimsical character of conditions of existence starts to matter, but somehow it doesn't matter in the quark-gluon soup in the earliest stages of the universe. Okay, so I don't know. In other words, and this is all so weird. Let me try to just say a couple of other weird things. Okay, can you cash a check? Cash a check, right? Could you cash a check 50,000 years ago? What happened? A lot of social invention of things like law, contracts, legal courts, paper, jurisprudence, banking systems, and so on, so that the human activity of cashing a check has become a possibility in the real universe. We can really cash checks. There's something going on that we don't understand, in which the diversity of what can happen in the universe keeps increasing. Now, how true this is of the abiotic universe, I don't know, but it sure is true of the biosphere and of culture and of human history. And it's related to the fact that the more things we invent, the more ways there are of making a living, and the more ways there are of making a living, the easier it is to invent something else that's a complement or a substitute of something that exists, like the channel changer, which makes more ways of making a living, which makes more things that human beings can do, which makes more kinds of human actions. It's as if the biosphere and our economy are getting as complex as they can as a secular trend. That's nowhere in physics. Okay?
I agree with you, but the one thing I want to say before I go is that I don't know if physics should be trying to ask those questions, because those are why are these things happening, not how are they happening. I don't know if that's a subject physics should ask, but I think it's an interesting question, and that's all I'm saying.
And that might be right, and let me just respond to that too, because one thing you could say is, so who cares, right? And the answer
I wouldn't
is,
say that.
no, I know you didn't, but insofar as you take physics to be a search for law, then this doesn't feel like a physics question. Insofar as you say, but look, what we care about is what really happens in the universe, it's some kind of real question, okay? Right? And that's why I mean something like we're looking at something that's post-Cartesian, it's still science, but it's not what you guys have thought was physics. It's something more. And I'm completely confused.
I see where you're going.
You're ahead of me. Yes.
This will be our last question, by the way, as I said earlier. And then...
Oh gosh, I'll be real brief if the other guys...
No, I think we'll have to cut it. It is getting late. Okay. They can talk to you afterwards. Rick, go ahead.
Well, I enjoyed your lecture. I'll try to bring this up to the level of human ethics again.
Okay.
And I read a really interesting article in the Golden Mail today on leadership and loving leadership. And they use examples of Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., etc. And I was so glad that there was no mention of God or faith or spirit, being a spiritual person, because these are loaded terms. And yet there was such great descriptions of what it means to be a loving leader. And they use words like respect dignity towards your employees or citizens, etc. And so why do we need, if we don't believe in the traditional meaning of God, this great powerful thing that will help you in the course of your life and will be there when you die, after you die?
We don't believe in that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Do we need
why
it?
do we need to cling on to these words, the words of spirit and God, and that no longer have any traditional meaning?
Well, this is the same question that you raised. Maybe we don't, okay? I mean, I've written my book like it's a good idea. Maybe it's an utterly stupid idea, okay, for the reasons that you're worried. There may be reasons why it's wise, okay? So I won't say, of course I don't think you're wrong. This is a question for discussion. And I don't know. It's just what I've been thinking for a couple of years. The humanist tradition that we're aware of doesn't see us as part of a broader creative universe that we can revere. Not pray to, revere. Take comfort in membership in. That's not English, but you know what I'm trying to say. Or as part of all of life on the planet. Or as part of the planet. Okay, so these are also things, it seems to me, that can enter into our moral lexicon, and they're sort of creeping in anyway. So, I mean, I think what I want to say to you, I mean, I completely agree that it's dangerous, but it's also wonderful and powerful. And if we can cleanse these symbols of just what you're afraid of, okay, I understand the fear, okay, it's going over to the dark side. Okay, we'll tumble back into the Inquisition and belief in a mindless.
I just find it unnecessary to use the word.
It might
But
be.
I'm sympathetic to you because I still use the word Christmas and I still celebrate Christmas, even though it's a secular holiday.
And you might be right. I mean, I wouldn't dare argue that you're wrong. I don't think there's a harm in having the discussion. And you see, it could turn out, not now, but 50 years from now, it could turn out that a symbol like a cleansed symbol of God becomes utterly precious to us. But maybe it's too dangerous. I don't know. I just think it's worth thinking about. Thank you all.
Very nice. Just very quickly, we are having books for sale, Investigations and At Home in the Universe. That latter book, At Home in the Universe, will be the topic of our book club on Thursday of next week. There is a video of Dr. Kauffman doing about a 15-minute talk at Beyond Belief, which I urge you to check out. It summarizes all of these topics, if you kind of, your mind can't wrap around it. So check that out. Also upcoming, we have a Toronto Transhumanist Association meeting tomorrow. We'll be talking about nanotechnology, if you're interested in that, at 5 o'clock. Cafe Inquiry on Morality and Religion, which the U of Toronto Secular Alliance is planning next Wednesday. The book club I mentioned next Thursday. And then we're starting our ESL classes, if you know anybody who is interested in that, Mondays and Tuesday evenings. English is a second language. It's a free service that CFI is offering. So that's all for me, and as I mentioned before, please do consider becoming a friend. $20 for students, $60 for adults. We will reimburse you or put today's admission towards that. If you are interested in pledging some donations in addition to that to help us with everything that we do, that would be very, obviously, we'd be grateful for that.